What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Space Hulk Ascension. Let's do the next mission. The strike force has made contact with the missing squad. They're alive, but pinned in a waste disposal facility by a fierce Genestealer assault. There is no way to reach them directly without opening up the rest of the force to a counterattack, but the captain has a plan. Amongst the weapons recovered from the Armorium were a cache of powerful antimatter bombs, ancient technology long lost to the Imperium. If it's long lost, how do you know what it is? The Adeptus Mechanicus will no doubt be overjoyed by the discovery, but one of the explosives can be spared to allow your brothers the chance to escape. Your squad must deliver the bomb to a gantry room above the waste disposal facility and lower it to the beleaguered Terminators. So the engineers haven't looked at it yet. So obviously it's common enough to where a normal Space Marine knows what it is, because they said right here, the Adeptus Mechanicus have not looked at it yet. But it's common enough to where he knows what it is, but it's also uncommon enough to be long lost. Okay, so it looks like we've got one of these Lord of the Rings missions going on where we get to walk about 9,000 squares to get to our goal. And so we're just going to start hustling, because I would prefer that this mission not take like an hour to complete, in the interest of keeping my hard drive safe and clear. I'm going to split into two groups. The first person on the map always has to carry whatever, the chalice, I suppose. And so we'll have him hold that, and we'll end the turn. The Genestealers shouldn't be on top of us for a couple of turns, I don't think, so I don't know. I'd rather hustle right now, and then we'll just like deal with the situation when we get there. Where's my flamethrower at? He's right there. Okay, so that's not a terrible position to be in. I think, I don't know what's this way, but it's a singular hallway, which leads me to believe this is probably like a death march over here, so forget it. We're not going that way. This room looks a little bit wider, and so this will be the room that we will enjoy the company of. Got our first Genestealer right there. Hopefully it's not as bad as I think it is right now, but it might be. And in fact, our entire team is going to be going this way. This way right here is more than likely, looks like a really, really long hallway. No door at the end. There's a door right there, but it's still singular hallways, both directions probably, since it ends in a single door like that. And I don't see, yeah, so I think there's just a bunch of single hallways. And I don't want to be in that situation today, so we're not going to be in that situation today. I'm also going to use a Rune of Command to get him on Overwatch, because it looks like we're going to have a couple of new friends popping in. Have him turn just in case. And I'll click down here, since I guess it's not going to allow me to control my character. There we go. And now we'll wait, and we will see what the Genestealers decide to do. Okay, unfortunately he's shooting like a... Yep, shooting like a blind idiot, so unfortunately we're not going to make any kills right there, and he's going to overheat while only making one kill, as majestic as that is. I will have him resume his fire on... not you. On you. Shoot him. I have given the order, make it happen. There we go. I'm going to click him like 6 times, I don't know what happened right there. On this side, we're going to say, no way, and we're just going to flame, well, let's step him forward a little bit. There we go. Solve some of those problems the old-fashioned Space Marine way. And we should be okay on this side. Got his kill right there. Got his kill right there, and got his kill right there, all in one nice lovely little burst. That should allow us the freedom to move to the next location. We only have to drop off the item, so it's not really too huge of a deal. Oh good. Stigner's not going to have enough. And he's going to overheat his entire gun just walking into the room like an idiot. Great. What are you doing, man? Like, I really, really, really wish you could turn off the walk while shoot option. Like, in the first game, you got to choose if that happened or not, and I don't know why they removed it, because now it leaves you in a spot like this where he was supposed to overwatch with no heat, and now he's going to overwatch with, like, full heat. It's a terrible, terrible option. Like, why they did that, I'm not sure, but it was a mistake, and they should not have implemented that the way that they did. You should be able to turn the walk while shoot off. There we go. We'll turn that off. Do that. Just gonna overwatch, I guess, over here on this side. I'm gonna back him up down this way. We'll put this guy right here so that he can watch that, and we're just gonna walk 3x3s down the hall. That's pretty much the extent of my plan right now. Not a whole lot more to it. We are gonna be up against specials and some of the other nastier guys in this mission, more than likely. Some of the ones with multiple HPs and things like that. Everybody's already overheated. Luckily, this big blob down here is not really that threatening, so we'll just kind of step up on them. They are going to spawn really, really heavily from that direction if they can help it. If they can flood this right here, too, that would work to their advantage, assuming that he doesn't miss too many times. But yeah, they're allowed to spawn a lot of units in this mission, from what I can tell, because they're pretty much reinforcing everything that we're killing right now back to back to back. And you tend to run into this problem like on the back half of the game where essentially the spawn allocations are way too high for the AI. Like they're just allowed to spawn too much stuff and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know if I want to step him forward just yet. Maybe just like take a shot right here and see if maybe we can kill him. I mean, we're rolling dice, so hopefully we'll kill something in here, but we need to take ground too. Alright. They've got 4 more down here. Yeah, so basically they probably respawn just about everything we killed on the previous turn. They have the tendency to do that every now and again. There's the kill right there. Definitely in the late game too. You see what I mean? Like they can just spawn so much in the late game and there's nothing you can really do about it. This is a problem I ran into in the Space Wolf campaign as well, where the balance on the back end of the game is all kinds of weird and poorly tuned. Basically, I think nobody playtested anything on the back end of this game. Like, the earlier missions are all way too easy, and the later missions are all very close to impossible. And in fact, I doubt that anybody has beaten a couple of the missions that I've played in this game. Like, I looked at the achievements, and it said that 0.01% of all players have beaten it, which leads me to believe they probably cheated in order to do it. Just like threw in some codes real quick just so they could bypass that part of the game. But the later missions definitely, I don't think they were playtested very well, or at all, to be honest, because the AI just gets way too many Genestealers at a certain point in the game to where you can't make any advancement. You kind of just sit in one spot overwatching the entire time. I mean, you can sort of get around it by just advancing behind your flamethrower guy, but eventually he runs out of ammo, so I prefer to save that until you're in the home stretch. Alright, so we're whacking a couple things over here, playing Whack-a-Stealer. He missed like 5 shots in a row, so he's going to get run up on really, really badly. Yeah. Alright. Additionally, the AI seems to get like modifications that aren't claimed in the back end of the game. Like they get a whole bunch of extra dodge. Like I've noticed that your shots start missing a lot more once you pass like a certain invisible threshold in the game. And I know that sounds crazy and conspiracy theorist, but it actually does happen. Like after you're like halfway through the game, I've noticed that I miss a lot more just randomly at a certain point, and it's very, very odd. Hopefully he doesn't get run up on, because that would be embarrassing to say the least. Alright. There we go. So he managed to kill off his guy. If they just keep spawning from this point down here, eventually I'm going to have to make some kind of gap so my flamethrower can get through. And we'll just kind of pace along behind. Yeah, so see how much they're able to spawn right there? Like, I'm not really sure how you're expected to get around that aside from walking behind the flamethrower the entire game. I guess we'll just move up slightly. That'll dissipate a tiny bit of heat, but the spawn down here is very, very, very well reinforced. I could drop a murderous hurricane over here, but I would save that for once we have the opportunity to actually get things done. Move him. Go ahead and make sure that I move him back slightly, because he's going to fall in behind the rest of the squad. And that's it. Another turn. We've moved the equivalent of like 4 squares this entire time. Ugh. I like that he's able to shoot that corner right there. That's actually really, really helpful and really good. Makes our lives a little bit easier. Alright, so he's killed off all of his genies over here. It's our turn again. I'm just going to remove the obstructions. You can't shoot to right there, can you? Okay. So on this turn, once again, as you can see, they're just reinforcing to the point where you can't really move. So we're just going to hang out here for a little while, and if they keep it up, unfortunately the game starts to spawn broodlords on you. So basically it punishes you for the AI like spawning too many units. It's a very, very weird thing. So the game will start to spawn broodlords if you dig in too deeply, but the AI plays in such a way that kind of forces you to play like that, and so a lot of the time you end up... Why didn't you overwatch him? Did you just like not care? Like what happened, man? What was that? Oh man. What are you doing? I'm gonna reset his overwatch because sometimes it bugs and it doesn't count, and I think that's what happened right there. So yeah, let's stay dug in and just hope they don't spawn any broodlords on us at this point. I don't have the AP to like advance or get anything done here, so... Well, there's a little bit right there. I suppose I could move him up by 1. And just kind of like hope this doesn't go really, really wrong. But... basically turning this corner is going to be really, really dangerous for us. So yeah, I need to flame out this hallway really, really badly. And so it's my thought that this right here might be the best move that I could pull for right now without anything going ridiculously, hectically wrong. I'm going to focus fire that entire area because we do need to get mobile. If we don't get moving, they are going to spawn broodlords on us, and in this position, a broodlord is almost a guaranteed death for our entire team. So if we don't start hustling really, really soon... There does seem to be some consideration given when spawning broodlords that has to do with how long you've been sitting in one spot, because I tested it on another mission where I just hung tight in one spot the entire time, and the longer you do it, the more broodlords it spawns on you to kind of get your ass in motion and get you into gear. If I can kill him, we can walk away on this one, and then he can just watch the back of the squad here. I mean, it's possible that this could still kind of backfire on me, but what are you going to do? Turn him to right there. Turn him to... Alright, whatever. Right there's fine. We're just going to keep doing the exact same thing, flaming this out, and then we're going to try and take this room and hold it. Which might work, it might not work. I don't know. We'll find out. Luckily, he burned to death before he could get any further, so that's a plus. It looks like they're starting to reroute this way now, which means that I'd prefer to put my better shooters on Overwatch. I'm going to put this guy right here to overwatch him while he regroups with everybody else. So Stigner, reload. Make sure you've got bullets for this trip. I've got my flamethrower already. I don't think there's enough AI right now to justify the use of... I don't know. If I can block that right there, but I feel like we're going to get stuck here doing the same thing we were stuck here doing. So I'd prefer to keep the offensive moving. Maybe move him up slightly. Oh my god, there's a spawn right there too. Okay. Wow. Alright, so we've got some pretty nasty spawns up and in the way actually. Which means that I'll probably move him to there. Just something a little bit safer. And we will double Overwatch right here and just kind of hope that it works. I'll swing him into formation right here, and we'll have him swap out with Stigner, I guess. We'll take the rear guard. I don't know. We're not in the best of situations right now. The guns are already overheated. Okay. So... seeing as this leaves us sort of dug in right here for at least a little bit. I really wish that I wish that the librarians still had psychic barrier. I strongly, strongly wish that they still had it because it was such a useful tactical tool a lot of the time. What can you do from right there? Not much. That's actually just kind of what I wanted to check. This room right here is going to be a death trap. We have to essentially be able to go straight from this position into blocking both of these spawns. Otherwise, they're going to be very much up our ass in a way where they're going to be up our ass and we're going to have real short arms, I guess. So for now, we hang tight, I think. They still can't gather very well, so I think if we hang tight, we still have... We'll try and wait it out for right now. I don't know if that's how it's going to go down, but... Okay, so you stepped right there. And this is going to be a focused fire. Actually, will a wide fire get the job done? Yeah, it will. Hell yeah. There it is. So the Xeno filth has been purged. And so the goal now becomes to step him to there. Since they don't have to be on Overwatch, we step them forward by one. Maybe even putting him in the corner right there so that he's in a better position to advance on the next turn. We're going to blow everything that we have right now on the next turn if we can manage it, because we have to take this position right here. If we don't, then we have no secure passageway by which to assault that location. We've only got like one more room left to go, but a lot of this is going to fall back on RNG at this point. It's going to be... We're at such close range that basically a couple bad rolls will kill us. We're in such close range that a couple bad rolls or a Broodlord will almost instantaneously spell death for all of us. So he can get to there and flame that whole thing out. So 3 turn fire, 1 turn. What about if I go right there? If I go right there, he's got 4 fire, turn fire. Basically, I need him to be like a whirlybird of death on this level. I need him to like be spinning in every direction, just killing everything. Actually, is he already facing that way right there? He is. This might be workable. This might be workable. Sort of depends, because that's one of the ones that has a whole bunch of HP. So we'll long fire him. I think we hit him. Oh, that's a Broodlord? Wait, what? Oh, shit. There's not much we can do right here then. I may have just killed a character on accident. I didn't know that was a Broodlord. Shit. Ooh, I don't know what to do now. Ooh. Bad. Really, really bad. I mean, the truth of the matter is, he's got to do this on this turn. Not much of a choice there. Okay, so let's take this really, really slowly. If I can maybe... There's got to be a way to wheel out of this. There's got to be. Let's move him first, because I'm going to procrastinate and try and figure out what I should do here. Ooh, my nerves are going now. There's the very real possibility that this might not work out. So, I need the Overwatches to line up in such a way... Let's try that. Okay, so that steps him to right there, which blocks at least one spawn. That puts ER right there. ER is our best, most accurate guy, so all we can really hope for right there is that he makes the shots. On this side... 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to depend. I mean, I'll leave him right there. But, like I said, this turn is... Oh, good. He vaporized his enemy. Good for you, man. Good for you. They can still spawn right there, though, which is troublesome for you, but we'll figure it out. So this whole thing comes down to rolls now. The entire thing comes down to rolls. Much like the Baker's Fortune, I think that if we don't make the rolls right here, that's pretty much it. I don't even know if he should overwatch from right there or where he should overwatch from. We're basically relying on the fact that both these guys are going to make the rolls that they need to make. I'm going to abandon that position for now. Okay. Good luck, everybody. Cross them fingers. Oh my god. That was so close. Oh my god, that was so close. Oh wow. Big smile across my face right now. Wow. Okay. Alright, so I gotta let my nerves settle for a second because that was... That was the definite make it or break it turn. Over here, we're gonna have to go through some flamethrower fuel pretty aggressively, actually. They've still got a corner that they've got to turn right there, and we're still a long ways from the objective. I mean, we're still out pretty deep from this thing, so... Can they... Okay, so they can come up this way. So I'm going to put him right here. I'm going to do the best I can. He's our most accurate guy, so... We're kind of falling back on him right now. I need these spawns to go away on this turn. Like right now. So... In order to leave him a little bit of room to move. But I also have to block them in. Is that door shut? Strangely enough, the door is shut. Well. That leaves us very, very few options, actually. What about wide fire? Wide fire is not going to work either. Because they can still cut that corner right there. Ew. So we're still actually in kind of a sticky situation with our flamethrower guy. Where I may not be able to block this off on the next turn the way that I want to. Even with focused fire, he's not going to be able to. Ew. So I'm going to do something a little risky right here in order to make this work properly. That right there should do it. We step him to there to block that spawn one more time. That blocks off that direction, which hopefully means that these guys all start funneling. I canceled that. Stop that. I hate it when sometimes the game does not respond the way I want it to. I would prefer to keep all these guys from getting locked in here in kind of like an unmaneuverable mess. But I also need people to move around. So, should we advance one more square? Tough call right there. And I'm going to say, yeah, balls to the wall. Let's do it. He's my most accurate guy. If we can make one more step towards the goal, we're going to make one more step towards the goal, damn it. So let's do it. I'm going to leave the flamethrower guy to deal with this room right here and block off both spawns up until this guy can swing on down in and block it all off for a little bit. Let's go. I was going to say, are they going to come around this way? It would be very, very outside the ordinary for the AI not to reroute this way. And if that's a Genestealer, or I'm sorry, if that's a Broodlord right there, we're totally hosed. Now that we know Broodlords are on the scene, it becomes a little bit more risky for us to play the game. Now, he broke the door, though, which means that possibly... Well, I can't focus fire his ass, unfortunately. So, how far... That's 3 AP. Let me do this in my head here. 3 AP. Let me use the... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I scared myself. I thought I passed the item to the guy in the front. We're going to command before he's out of range. We're going to make this work. We don't really have a choice. We have to. Over here, we have a choice as to whether we want to be very, very risky and try and take the corner right now. There's a spawn well within striking range, though, so... Whew. I don't know what I want to do. There's so many nasty points in this mission where you've got to make a tough call. If I step him to there, that blocks both those off, and that allows me to figure out whether or not that's a Genestealer that can be handled. My goal is actually this. I'm going to see if he can walking fire kill this guy to save 1 fuel. And he did. Okay. Okay. So him managing to walking fire that guy means that what I can do now is flame this out. I'm sorry, man. I need you to turn. There we go. I was going to say, why is that not the range that I want it to be? Please let this happen how I want it to happen. I guess I should probably just go for anything, really, actually. Hopefully that kills him. Okay, so that killed him. They can't spawn anything else right here, which leaves him open to become our new vanguard of this flank. With these guys, what do we want to do here? So there's another spawn down in here somewhere that we have not seen yet. However, our goal is so close. Is there a door right here that takes us into there? There is. Oh, I have no idea what to do with this. I hate all of these options equally. Because if there's another spawn over here, that means that this group is going to end up pretty much pincered. Because I need him to face this way. Whew. I don't want them to... So basically they can spawn, they can run up and kill a character. That's a very, very dangerous spot to be in as a Space Marine. I think I'll give him a little bit better of a survival chance here. So now that we know what's unlocked over here... Shoot that, if you can. Is there a door over here that takes us into there, or is this like we have to go straight through this spawn? Oh, he can actually get to the spawn. Oh. Go for it. Balls to the wall. Let's do it. We actually have a chance right now at completing this, and so I would rather... I'm going to take him up to here just to make sure that he stays guarded because he has the object. He's got the football, essentially, and we need to get him to the goalpost. I always wish that I was a little bit bigger so that I could play football. Football was never a sport, never my entire... We used to have a flag football... I'm sorry, we used to have a tackle football game every week in the park with me and my friends when we were in high school. But it got rowdy, and eventually we got kicked out. We weren't allowed to play anymore. I think it's just because we were messing the field up. I'm pretty sure that's why they... We didn't wear cleats or anything, like we weren't digging it out, but I think that it just kind of got, I don't know, we were playing out there and I think brown spots started to show up, and so they added a little sign that said no football allowed or no whatever allowed in park. It's a little bit of a downer, but I always wish that I could have played. I was on the swim team and I played baseball for a long time because being small in both of those doesn't really matter as long as it's your arm ratio with swimming. As long as you got long arms, and I have reasonably long arms, you should be okay. All right. It's going to depend what they decide to do on this turn, I think. Is that door open right there? Let me go have a look. It looks like it's open. So if I can take him... How far... Is that door open? That door looks open. How far can he shoot? There we go. Perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better opening. Now, he's faced wrong. Which means that technically... Ooh, that's risky, though. So what I was going to do is I was going to walk up. I was going to punch him in the side of the head. So that's 3. 1 to turn 4. He's got, what? 6. 1 to turn 4, 5. Turn back this way. It'll depend if he can get to him. Or if he can make this shot as he's walking, basically. and I don't think I'm willing to take that risk just yet. I'm going to let him come this way. If I can keep this way flamed out, it shouldn't matter, I don't think. I also don't think that they're going to come down that way any longer. And so I may position him there, take him off Overwatch. We're so close right now that it's kind of like the enemy's gate is down. I know I always quote that from Ender's Game, but it becomes one of those situations where you're so close to the goal that it becomes worth it to conceivably begin sacrificing people in order to make it, just in case. So, oh, that door's still shut? That's a hazard and a half. Get rid of that. Alright, so that door's down. That leaves us pretty much debating whether or not... Okay, so he should be able to... He can kill these guys down the hallway. Those are the sucky little feeder face ones. What those do is they don't actually kill you. They do like a weird thing where they drain your... They drain your AP for the turn. Which can be troublesome to say the least. But it's not actually that bad. So from right there... I'll move him to here. And if we could just move a little bit further, we'd be out of here. We'd be safe. We'd be done. This mission is one that I've been banging my head against, and so... it's very... Don't get bogged down in this hall if you're struggling with this mission. This hall right here is a death trap. This is a no-go. Like, the game is going to try and convince you that this is a good idea, but unless your flamethrower's in the front, this is the worst plan ever. And all it takes for that plan to fall apart, too, is for... the enemy to have a Broodlord come through at the wrong moment like they did for us, where it was just like, oh no. And that's exactly what happened. It was very much kind of an oh no moment where things just didn't work. Can I get him from where he's at right now? I cannot. I don't think he can move that far anyways. I'm just going to risk it. Every now and again they pull their heads out of their asses and they get like 7 AP to move super far, and I don't know what causes that or what stops it from happening. I've said that a couple times during the course of this episode, but seriously, I wish the rulebook was a little bit more fleshed out and explained a lot more. Alright, so we should be good to win on the next turn, or maybe the turn after, depending. They've got a long hallway right here, and long hallways are both the bane of Space Marine. Oh, really? There was a Broodlord right there, and he just took him out, no joke. Oh, I'm so glad I put him on Overwatch. That was one of those things that I debated whether I wanted to put him on Overwatch or not. And I'm glad that I did, because that could have ended poorly for us. Let's deheat him real fast. I probably could have just reloaded. That was a mistake. Wrong move right there. Luckily, this is not a pivotal turn where, like, things matter. So. You, sir, are going to hang out right there from now on. And the librarian's just going to go for it. That's all that he can do. So there it is. I like how the lights turn on once you come into a room. That's really kind of an eerie effect. All things considered, that's a very, very weird effect. Like how you step into a room and the lights are like ka-chung, 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 ka-chung. It's like somebody thought about that. I'm pretty sure that was a design choice to make the game more foreboding. Oh my god, we have so little frames right now. This is pretty bad, pretty bad. I don't like having low frames. It makes me sad. I will mention that I did order a new computer this week though, so that might be able to go away from here on out. And so that's what I was worried about happening right there. It's going to take him an AP to drop off the bomb, but we'll use a rune of command right here. Well, why did you do that? He did like a little... That right there was why it took so much AP to get from there to there. There we go. Cleanse with fire completed. Mission's getting decidedly nastier from this half of the campaign, and in fact, if I hit a wall again, I'm probably going to leave the... If I hit another wall like I did with the Space Wolves campaign, where it's just like the mission just doesn't seem winnable by any direction that you hit it, where I end up playing the same mission all day, every day, then I might actually just kind of break off the series and we can go do what we're going to do. I LP for fun. It is my job, but I also do it for fun, and so at the point where things stop being fun and they start becoming a frustration, I start to think about ways out. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for the next episode of Space Hulk Ascension. I'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody. Hi-do.